Welcome back to Crazy Ball TV. Welcome without the E at the end. You know what that means, Mr. Gravenberch. Welcome. 12 men, welcome. Liverpool fans in the chat all over the world, the ones who are gonna watch it later, welcome. Today we're not even gonna have any big topic. We're just gonna talk. Finally, this craziness is over. We can focus on football for what, 4 months or 3 months? Yeah, 4 months.
Or no, actually, we still got 6 more days, 7 more days.
Oh, for the other side, yeah. I mean, yeah, let's start with that. Let's start with that. Even though today is a Gravenberch appreciation thing, but let's get that bag out of the way. Is he leaving?
Say that one more time.
I said, is he leaving?
Next year.
That one I see.
That one I could see.
That one for sure.
The money that they're going to pay him, the amount of attention and what it can do for his personal brand and everything else, alone is going to be reasons why he isn't going to be able to overlook it. But hey, he's got something to prove this year.
Welcome, Trap Joe. Trap Joe made his disappointment be known. Oh my man. Thank you for showing up, man. I like this guy. Yep, he's like, nope.
Yeah. No, I was just saying, but I think that what it is that I think that we also got to make it a point about saying that we're not. It's a really weird time for Liverpool because like everyone just like claims we don't have money when we do. They do all these different little things when they say, big up to Uncle Rods as well.
Uncle Rods, let me get you in, man. It's good. It'd be great to have you on. Shout with us.
But yeah, it's just one of those things where they say we don't have money when we do. People talk about our spending habits with our wage bill when we have one of the top wage bills in the world. But now it seems like, a lot of these teams are going after our particular players. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theory type person, but it is very interesting that a lot of these teams aren't. A lot of the Saudi Arabian teams are going like us, and they start really pushing it right before we're going to play Newcastle. They started really, really pressing it, yes, and you don't see them going after Newcastle players, for instance, which is very interesting. Someone could then come back and say, well, they have gone for City, but they've gone for City's players that City has already said we're going to be moving on from, as opposed to they're not coming in for, they could afford the release clause, I'm sure, for Holland if they wanted to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just one of those things where it's very, very interesting.
Well, Trap Joe has a question for you.
Are we all U.S.-based fans? I'm U.S.-based. I know you are, Quaz. So
yeah. So we know the other side of the pond, they're probably snoozing right now, but they will wake up to this before the game starts, and some of them are probably night owls, so they're probably up. So this show, we just wanted to talk. I know everybody had their say. So what, Trap Joe? You in the bed?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in.
There you go.
Too, man. I'm not in that set, but I'm in the valley, the wine valley. You know what it is. But no, yeah. No, man, I agree with you. In terms of I don't Liverpool, and you know what? This is what I'm so excited about him not leaving. And it's not that he pushed out, because I think at the end, if he had left, it would have been him forcing himself out. But one thing that finally we could all put to bed. Sell to buy does not exist in Liverpool. Ever, never did and never had been. Coutinho's situation was just a perfect timing that happened.
Yeah, it's just perfect timing.
Yeah, it just happened to follow the owners, and they'd be like, hey, it was, the funny thing? It was identical to what Salah is going in right now. Salah could have literally said, I want to leave.
Yeah.
But
there's Salah, a difference. There's a difference.
There's a difference between him and Coutinho.
Yeah, there's a big difference. One, I mean, like, Barcelona, if this had been Real Madrid or this had been Barcelona, then we might have been looking at a different circumstance and story.
Right.
But if considering that it is Saudi Arabian League that is on the come up, let's not get twisted. Saudi Arabian the SPL is not like top 5 league in the world or something along those lines. And I think that there's a couple of things that remained consistent for me, which was I knew Mo wouldn't leave us in the lurch. I get that we would have made a lot of money, but there would have been a lot of money that we would have had to sit on until January at the earliest to be able to use. Okay. So, I kind of knew that he wasn't going to leave us in the lurch in the sense of saying, all right, I'm going to bounce on you. Good luck to you. I'm out. And two, considering that, and this is why I brought up on a couple of different streams, his missing 2 penalty shots last year cost me my 71. All right, my hashtag 71. And it also cost us a possible inclusion in the Champions League. Okay. I don't think that you just walk away and not try to make amends for the result of last year. I think that it would to leave and let that be the last chapter of your legacy, your Liverpool legacy, be a horrible ending, in my opinion. And I think that, if there's anything I feel as though, I think that Salah is at a point where he's making so much money in his life that it's not about necessarily the money. The money's great and everything good, but it's now to a point where he has the comfortability to try to press legacy, to press the inclusions of putting your name in the record books. And that's something that is driving him, I believe. And it's something that if he had just gone to Saudi Arabia, there's no end game for that.
Yeah. I mean, Saudi Arabia is basically saying, I'm retired. Yeah. Basically, that's what it is. He will have fun. He will have everything he ever wanted. But at the same time, in terms of football, for him, like somebody like Mbappe, no, because Mbappe is too young. But for Salah, at this state of his age, coming back to Europe, you're not getting any of the top teams. You're gonna be in the mid. You're just gonna be a journeyman, just keep going. But the thing that I understand with Salah is he is a big economy. And that what has been presented to him, if you hate on him, you're just not human.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? This guy is representing not just his country, like he's representing a whole corridor of people that has not gotten this type of hype or this type of notoriety or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
In a very, I don't see the last one. I don't even remember the last one who got this much, pushing the Arab world on the map, right? And Saudi Arabia and
I'd say Muhammad Ali, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali. But Muhammad Ali had the American PR machine behind him.
Right.
Good or bad. So you know how that works.
Right. But I'm just saying in the Muslim world.
Right. No, in the Muslim world, I mean Mike Tyson at one point said he was Muslim. So
yeah.
And him as one. But I'm just saying for people who are outside, because he was even on the GQ magazine.
Right.
So this is how big it is. And if rumors are to be true, he was They basically given him the Messi deal, where there's a channel in Egypt right now just because they're expecting him to go over there. So they're going to have a channel to show all the games, and he will get 10 to 20%, right? Saudi Arabia and Egypt are planning on bidding for the World Cup. So that means he is the biggest ambassador for them, right? So it is a big economy. So with me, I'm even glad. I mean, for political reasons, I will get on that. But whatever they pay is nothing.
Right.
Because whatever they pay, they will get that money back before the end of the year. Before Salah, before his jet leaves, what's it called? Liverpool. And touchdown in the kingdom, that money has already been made back tenfold.
Right. And it's so with that said, are you like myself in that the offer that they originally came in at was insulting?
Very. They were very, 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 because this is what they were expecting. They were thinking that will get Salah to start talking, to put pressure on the owners, right? Or the club. Of course, they were going to put more money, but they wanted to test the waters. But Liverpool said no. And they were like, okay, we'll come back. And then Liverpool
said 60 million or something.
60 million. It was 80 million, and then they were going to 60 million, and then they were going to give him 180.
Yeah.
And then we were like, no, we don't need the money. So
that's insulting.
But at the time, I'm like, so last time when we had the show with Savage, I was like, people have got the numbers thinking that he's getting the 60 and we getting the 180.
Right.
No, he's getting the 180, we getting the 60.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So it's Liverpool, and this is where I get back to my personal agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And all the people who have said Liverpool is a sell to buy club because of the Coutinho situation. It was a perfect time situation. We didn't want to sell.
Right.
Club loved this kid because he was going to be the guy.
Right.
And he said, no, I want to leave. They'd use all the tactics and get him out there. So Liverpool was like, okay, they're fine. We want to sell, but you're going to have to pay 145 million.
Right.
And they paid. So we were like, okay, well, we want Virgil, and we just got our hand get caught with the cookie jar. So you're going to pay for that.
Yeah.
And we need a goalie. You're going to pay for that too.
Right.
And they got everything. So that one was just something that happened. Virgil was already the money.
For the stars aligned type
Yeah.
thing.
The money was already there. Hey, good to see you, Uncle.
That's good.
Listen,
welcome.
You know what it was, yeah?
Yeah.
You know what it was, yeah? I was just about to go to bed, right? And I saw the link, yeah? I thought, you know what? I have to come and see my brothers first.
Thank you.
I have to come and see my brothers first, man.
Thank you so very much.
You're very welcome. How are you?
We're doing well, We're just having a conversation here, Today is a welcome without the E to Gravenberch, but there's something that we have to talk about. It's been lingering around. Them people, their window doesn't close till next week. So we just have to talk about it and get it out of the way. And I'm getting on people like yourself, Uncle Rod, who always call FSG sell to buy. And with them not selling Salah tells me sell to buy never existed. The only reason why it happened to exist that time was Coutinho and Barcelona and even Nike played a very dirty tactics to get Coutinho out of Liverpool. And we capitalized on it. So it was an opportunity. It was like unfortunate incident that happened.
We're New Balance at that time.
No. Barcelona was with Nike.
No, I'm saying we were New Balance.
We were New Balance at the time, yes.
At the time, yeah.
So now Salah, I mean, I was like 150 to 200. You got my attention. And these people were coming. If Liverpool had given them a number or even gave him like a little hint of maybe 150, 145, 170, something like that, they would have come with a number.
Salah they would have. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
Salah is a big brand. Salah is a huge brand. So whatever we tell them to pay, by the time he leaves John Lennon Airport and land. By the time he leaves on LA Airport, the money, they already made their money back 10 times. So starting 200, it, to me, next season is the minimum, bare minimum.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you want Salah, you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to pay something like 200 million plus. But I think, you get some players in some teams at the end of the day. The contribution to that team at the end of the day makes them priceless. You know what I mean? And I think at the end of the day, Salah is that sort of player. You know what I mean? I even think, right, because they're saying that they, obviously, with the time that they came in and offered the money and such, do you know what I mean? And said, like, 100, 150 and so on. The timing was bad. But I even think, even if they came at the beginning of the transfer window, I don't think Liverpool would have sold. They would not have sold. Because something like Mo Salah, and because I was watching some compilations of him today, right? And the stuff that he can do in a ball. Now, we haven't had a player like that since, let's say, Luis Suarez. You know what I mean? What Luis Suarez can do in the ball and stuff. I mean, obviously, in the day, he didn't score as much goals as Salah. Do you know what I mean? But what Luis Suarez can do in the ball was amazing. And it's the same with Salah, right? You got to ask yourself, even though he said like 200 million, 250 and for that, how do you replace someone like Mo Salah?
You can't.
How do you do it?
You have to change a whole lot of things.
Yeah, you just can't do it. The only other thing you can do at the day, really, when you think about it, is go and get a Messi. That's the only thing you do. But then Messi at the day, 36 now? Do you know what I mean? So there's no point in bringing him to the Premiership. It's no point. But that's the only person that you'll say at the day that you can say, right, you know what, I can put this guy, I can, obviously, get this guy in, and he'll probably be able to do sort of like some of the things at the day of what Mo Salah could do in a ball. To me, at the day, he's just priceless. I mean, I did a game tonight. I did some security at the game, the Luton and West Ham game tonight. And I was talking to this West Ham fan, nice fella, Ross, nice fella, and he was saying to me about the Salah situation. Do you know what I mean? And we both agreed that something like Salah in a day, right? He's priceless. You just cannot replace him. That's why all these rival teams, right, were chomping at the bits, and the main thought at the end of the day that Salah could go. Yeah, they was chomping at the bits at the day. The mere thought at the end of the day that Alisson can go. Because that's another one that was after Alisson as well. You know what I mean? Which Alisson in the day is priceless to our team. There's certain players in our team and they're just priceless.
You can't touch.
How do you replace them? How do you replace someone like Alisson? Tell me, how do you replace someone like Alisson with the stuff that he done against Newcastle, with that point blank range volley came towards him and he's tipped it on a bar and then called it out again? Do you know what I mean?
I've never seen that before.
Listen, the closest that I've seen to that is like I don't know if you watched the 2005 Champions League final when Dudek made that double save when Shevchenko made a double save. Do you know what I mean? That's the closest I've seen to that.
But even that one, Shevchenko just blasted the ball towards New Jack, like he kicked it at him. This thing, you see, this the thing that people how should I say this? Watch it again. All I'm gonna say is watch it again.
Yeah, but he had 2 goals though. But what I'm trying to say with Shevchenko, he had 2 goals. He had a header and also a kick. Remember, he headed it and it rebounded towards him, and then he just lashed it. He lashed it. You know what I mean? And like Jamie Carragher said, and then when Jamie Carragher was being interviewed, and there was sort of like there was talking about that. Do you know, specific sort of like thing. Jamie Carragher said he's just watching in slow motion. And he was just waiting for the net to bulge. It's just like it happened in slow motion, and all he was doing that day was just waiting for the net to bulge and everything like that. And he couldn't believe when the net didn't bulge. He couldn't believe that he pulled off this double save. You know what I mean? But like something like Alisson in the day, right? Not only has he done that double save, but amazing double save at the day on Sunday. He's done other stuff at the day that's amazing. What about the goal he saved against Napoli? Napoli, remember?
I think it was 12 men or somebody that I said the last time he made a save like this, we went on to win something big.
Huh.
Yes,
How
yes,
about this,
facts.
Yes, if you're talking about Allison, the biggest thing that I think of when I think of Allison isn't goal saving; it's goal making.
Yes,
So,
yes.
you know, I mean, the sheer fact that our season rested on his shoulders or on his head, I guess, you know, is just an amazing. He's just an amazing person. I mean, the one thing I also like about what you're talking about, Allison, what we've started talking about Mo Salah about, is that the one difference I can say about our team versus a lot of other teams in the Prem or just in football in general, is that players that tend to be associated with our club tend to be incredible people. Tend to be such incredible people that they become, in a sense, brands in themselves. It's not that they're just surely marked with their talent. There could be people that are talented that are just a-holes, but there are people out there that are just amazing people, and that I can say an amazing attribute. That there's a lot of names on our roster that you could say, hey, that's someone that I would love to befriend in my life.
Yes,
that's incredible.
Yes.
But
no, you're 100% right, because just quick at the day, I think some of the players that we got that obviously 12 man has said that is amazing. Yeah, they're not only amazing on the pitch, they're amazing off the pitch. You know what I mean? Yeah, and if you take someone like Allison a day, right, that sort of like he baptized Roberto Firmino. He baptized him. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's done that for a few other his Brazilian compadres. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he's sheer heart. Because I've seen a documentary of his story. Because his dad his dad was a goalkeeper himself. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I think his dad was a goalkeeper himself. And I've seen his story. I've seen his how he grew up and stuff. And he's such an amazing human being. Yeah. It is unbelievable. And what it does and everything, that sort of like amazing human nature that he's got, transcends on the pitch. You see what it is at the day, what people got to understand at the day with Liverpool, right? When we get people in our squad at the day, right? We not only get good players at the day, right, in our squad, we get unique human beings. Do you know what I mean? Oh, and it could be the one or two in a day you can say, well, you know, they didn't sort of meet the mark of a unique human being. But most of the time, we get unique human beings. Things like Gini Ronaldo, look at him. He was a unique human being. Do you know what I mean? You know? Milner, another unique human being. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Cody Gakpo at the day, he's a gospel man. He listens to gospel. That's the music he listens to. It's gospel, you know. Do you know what I mean? So you can already tell it. And someone like Cody Gakpo is come from a very spiritual background. You understand me? So we always pick these players at the day are unique, unique sort of like in life, and what they give us as Liverpool fans, right? This is the thing. What they give us as Liverpool fans is very unique and priceless moments.
Absolutely. And don't forget about Mane. I mean,
him. Yeah, sorry.
Mane,
I forgot. My bad.
That he takes so much of his income and sends it back in
exactly.
His, endeavors. Again, Bobby, as you mentioned, another amazing person that really contributes to amazing things. I mean, even some parts, even so far as even their significant others. Because I know that Rachel for Fabinho is very vocal in for rights, for people's rights in Brazil and everything else.
Yes.
Those things are those are really great characteristics that you can associate with the club. They're not just some party mongering a-hole or someone that's getting in trouble, doing ridiculous things that are going to be embarrassments for the club. There are people that are really like good-hearted people, and that's an amazing quality and characteristic that I'm proud of.
Yeah, you can only be proud of it. I think that's what makes sort of like a Liverpool. And for me, and this is, I can only speak for myself, and I can only speak as a Liverpool fan. This is what makes Liverpool such an amazing club that can give you moments at the day that can bring you to tears. You know what I mean? In happiness. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still get a lump in my throat watching the 2005 Champions League. I still get a lump in my throat now. And what was that, 15 or 16 years ago? Do you know what I mean? You know, there's certain moments at the day that happened with Liverpool. Even when was it Dejan Lovren at the day, right? Dejan Lovren, another unique human being.
Yes.
Everybody loved him in the trade room. Everybody loved him.
Dortmund.
Right.
Yeah. The goal against Dortmund, and I think that lump in my throat. There's so many sort of like moments at the day. Even with Klopp, I mean, a lot of us come with Klopp. There's so many moments and everything that, right? That sort of like I have to sort of like, you know, I take a moment in the day because I feel like I'm tearing up. Seriously, feel like I'm tearing up.
What was it, Tuesday when we had the show, and Zuberi was like, I'm tired of watching Liverpool put my heart rate almost at a heart attack level. I just want a team that could just come in and beat somebody so I could go to sleep. But then we were like, Liverpool, it's a story. Hollywood can't even write it.
No.
Liverpool itself is a story. That's what a lot of times some of our fan base don't understand. The rival fans have been trying to decode Liverpool for so long. The only club that have come close is Manchester United. Liverpool stories, and that's what made Klopp want to come to Liverpool instead of going to Man U or going to Madrid. It's because of the story that it happens. I mean, his first year against Dortmund, you mentioned Lovren.
Yeah.
That game, even though we didn't win anything that year, but that game itself stands by itself, right?
Yeah, special.
And then even, I think, was it the same year or was it the year after against Norwich, where all of a sudden
same year. It was the same year. Same year.
Nobody wants to play defense, and it was like go back and forth.
Milner
scored a goal. Klopp called him. He's like, "Come here."
Yeah, what's that guy's name? Lallana scored a goal.
Yeah, it's like
he took off his t-shirt and he was swinging around, and the Klopp ran out and goes, "Come here."
You know what I mean?
And there's about every one of them. Oh, listen, man, listen.
That's what Liverpool does to people. So while you are watching it, trust me, it doesn't feel good until after the fact. Till this day, Uncle O'Rod's 12 men. Till this day, the Barcelona game.
They're not very close friends. They're best friends. They're best of friends. That was his best friend on the team.
Yeah, he really liked Lovren, and to be honest, today, you know, this is the thing about Klopp. You see, right? This is the thing about Klopp, and people try to say it, and he shows too much loyalty. What it is, and is that he forms a bond with these people. He forms a bond and everything that, and he literally he likes people. Because remember at the day, sort of like, he goes, "What don't you like about sort of like, what don't you like about like, England?" He goes, "Oh, when you throw a party, they come early and get pissed early." You know what I mean? Things like that. Do you know what I mean? Because he throws parties at his house and everything, and he writes all the team and that. You know what I mean? And everybody's there holding a vibe. Now. People got to realize at the day, right? It's not loyalty; it's a bond that he's got with these people, and he had a special bond at the day with Lallana. He liked ever since he come in the club. He liked
everybody
Lallana.
wanted him to get Lallana now. Out, remember? All the players that everybody wanted him to get out, he got even more closer to them.
Yeah,
and
he loved Lallana.
Yeah, Neil has this thing here, which he said, it angers me watching our success because we never built on it. Trust me. And I'm going to say this, and I guarantee you have never heard it from anyone. Liverpool FC is not based on logic. That's why a lot of times when you're talking to people who are call themselves tacticals who think they know the game, they could dissect the formation tactic, they know best players who should be playing Liverpool, whatever. And you listen to them, it's like, I don't think you are a real Liverpool fan. Because I'm tell me, Uncle Rod, you are a little bit, older than most of us. When have you ever seen a logical side of Liverpool ever?
No, it's not.
Let's go all the way back. Let's go even from the foundation of the club itself. People, I think there's a YouTube documentary. It was here in America. It's called Us and Them.
Yeah.
Manchester United and Liverpool.
Yeah.
Watch that whole thing and ask me what was the logical sense of both teams at any time.
There's no logical sense because you look at look at this. Go back to 2005. Yeah. Let's go back to 2005 Champions League. Harry Kewell gets injured. Yeah. Right. And then they bring on Smeetser. Right.
Yeah.
And then sort of like Steve Finnan, he got injured, didn't he? Steve Finnan got injured and think that, right? Now, with 3 goals down, yeah, who does he bring on? He brings on a defensive midfielder. He brought on Deep Mohammed.
Mohammed,
right?
yeah.
Right, Mohammed. Now, one was thinking in the day, like, you're 3-0 down, why are you bringing on defensive midfielder? Yeah? There's always a method to the madness, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Because what it was with Benitez, he looked in that game, and he saw it in there. The biggest problem that we had wasn't the fact that the day was 3 goals down. It was the fact that nobody was holding the ball. They didn't have anybody that can hold on to the ball, that can put the foot on the ball, right? So what did he do? He brought in Deep Mohammed. Deep Mohammed is very tactical. He can put his foot on the ball. You see what happened in the day since when he brought Deep Mohammed on? Things just changed like that. Just changed like that. You know what I mean? So we never do things that the day. We never do things that the traditional way. Look, I look at this. If we look at the other day, things get sent off. Yeah, obviously Van Dijk gets sent off. Yeah, right. So what's he doing? I think that what you do, if he's right then, you know what I mean. What the most important thing now, at the end of the day, is not to concede again. Because if we concede again, we're going to lose. Do you know what I mean? We're going to lose in flat. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take off an attacking player on the left. Although he's been doing great, I'm going to take him off and put on Gomez. He puts Gomez in there, and literally in there, it's kind of like, you got like a back 4 again now. You got a back 4 again now. Isn't that right? You see how the game changed? We stayed in the game. Because the most important thing was to stay in the game. And then what he did in the day, gradually as the game got in and for that, when we literally took the best in the day of what, Newcastle can offer in the day, what he started to do then in the day, right, was big on attacking players. He brought on Harvey Elliott. He brought on Diego Jota. Do you know what I mean?
And brought another striker.
He brought another striker on later on and changed at the end of the day, right? Yeah. Changed the centre back because he brought Gerald Cranshaw. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the way he done it in effect was not traditional.
Yeah.
It wasn't traditional stuff. You know what I mean? But the most important thing that Klopp was thinking at the day is we got to stay in the game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make changes for us to stay in the game, and then if we're still in the game, sort of like 70 in 70 minutes or so, right? What I'm going to do for that, I'm going to start bringing on players at the day, right, that can probably nick us a goal. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and that's what he did gradually. Because when people like Harvey Elliott came on and Jota come on, the game started to change. Then the game started to change. Yeah, and then he brought on his secret weapon in the day, Darwin Núñez. Well, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. But nobody can tell me at the day, right? The way he done his tactics for that specific game, when they went sort of like when they went a man down, nobody could tell me that was traditional. Nobody could tell me that's traditional.
No, listen to what the players said when they went to halftime, and all he told them is like, just like he said, stay in the game. Just stay in the game. We will be fine. He said, you guys can do something that you will tell your grandchildren.
Mm.
Like this guy understand the club because of where he come from. If you listen to his background, you listen to the clubs that he went. Dortmund is exactly is the German version of Liverpool, right? And look, I was passing this thing around to my friends, where what's his name? Sir Alex Ferguson, Mourinho, Pep, and Pep and Wenger were talking about Liverpool, especially when it comes to Anfield. And even them, that's why Mourinho wanted to coach Liverpool so much, because he loved that fans thing. It's me, the fans, and against everybody else.
Yeah.
So that's what I understand, Neil. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Liverpool, personally, I felt like these new owners who are going to change that trajectory of when we start getting to the top, especially when they brought Klopp on. I'm like, okay, when we get to the top, they're going to keep going. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
This is the same thing. I wasn't even going to tell us Hicks and Gillette, because them were useless. But the owner, Moore, when he used to own the family that used to own Liverpool, it has been the same thing. It's literally a family tradition for the owners to always not continue to do what we fans think that they should do. You have your foot on their neck, keeping it there. Let's keep doing. But Liverpool is not a logical team. It's all about emotion, passion, and fandom. And if you don't understand that, just like Neil said earlier, they baffle the hell out of you.
Yeah, they do. I mean, 12 Man will tell you, at the day, because 12 Man's told me at the day about many a moments at the day when we had shows, many a moments at the day of what Klopp's done and the club's done and so forth and everything that. And I know that stand alone when I say that, like, Liverpool 12 Man rates Klopp and I rate Klopp. You know what I mean? Because I'm not being funny in the day, right? We do, me and 12 Man and for that, right? Do spend a lot of time at the day having to defend Klopp. And I think to myself, why do we have to defend Klopp?
Let me tell you why.
The fans.
I will tell you.
You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah, I will tell you why. I've been trying to figure the man out. I've read this book. I studied the book. I used to coach at a college here, university here, and his tactics was what our gegenpressing and it's not just attack. That's what people don't get. Gegenpressing is all no. There was a genius to that thing. He's a genius. The only thing that I've come to it is he's a genius. He's a designer. You can't tell a designer what to do. It's a painter. You're not going to tell Da Vinci how to paint the Sistine Chapel. He'll walk away. The same thing with Pep. Same thing with Alex Ferguson. Same thing with Wenger. Mourinho also. There's a few managers who are just genius. You can't tell them what to do. So trying to figure Klopp out, you're gonna be mad as hell.
Of course you are.
You're gonna be mad as hell. But before we continue, 12 Man, I want you to answer this question for our dear friend Genga Deep.
Okay. Question for the panel: what would you rate the transfer window out of 10? For me, no more than a 7. We still didn't address the key area on the pitch, which is a center back. I think that we have this transfer session or transfer window. I would rate a solid. With Ryan Gravenberch getting across the line, I'd say can I do half points or do I do whole points?
Hey, can he do half points?
No, man, listen, Liverpool. He's telling you to rate it so you can give half points. He's telling you to rate it, so give half points if you have to give half points. Right, you know what I mean?
Do an 8.5, then I get an 8.5. It's a solid. It's a solid B for it. And the reason why I'm saying it's a solid B is because I'll let you chime in too. Go on. The reason why I would say it's a solid B is I believe that we upgraded on every midfielder that we had leave the team. So whether it was Naby, whether it was Ox, whether it was Fabinho, and whether it was even Henderson, All 4 of the players that we got in my mind, are upgrades in talent and availability. Okay, so we got younger, we got more more fitness and availability out of them, and we got obviously talent. So I would say that is a huge plus. The reason also why I think that this transfer window is a plus or a positive in 8.5 is also because while getting to this place, we found some youth players on our team that have stepped up and shown some incredible fortitude, some incredible abilities that or just experience and just confidence that I did not expect to see. And whether it's Kwanzaa, whether it's Ben Doak, whether it's even even Gomez, who's not a youth player, but still the same, even Gomez making, stepping into a position that he's been constantly thrown into the fire over. We've at least gotten to a place in time in saying that we are confident enough that you will have the ability to show your worth. And when you have that window or that opportunity, take advantage of it. And that's what I've seen our players do.
Facts. I mean, to be honest today, I agree with it 100% what 12 months just said. And I think I would give the same rating as 12 man, because when you look at it and they sort of like, all right, then Fabinho, he went. Firmino, he went. Henderson, he went. Yeah. And Milner, he went. So that's 4 players first went, right? You can arguably say Oxlade-Chamberlain, he never really played. So you can't really throw him into that mix. Naby Keita wasn't really a player that sort of played. So you immediately take them 2 out, yeah? You're taking them 2 out. So, what it looks like to me at the end of the day, Fabio Carvalho is going to come back. He's going to come back. And I think it was you I was talking to 12 man, and we was talking about Fabio Carvalho. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we was chatting the other day. I think he's coming back. You know what I mean? So you can't really say that he's kind of gone. Even that now he's on loan. Do you know what I mean? So when you look at it, if you look at it if you deep look at it, we have actually replaced the 4 players at the end of the day. The 4 players at the day that actually play for our squad day in, day out. We have actually replaced them with Szoboszlai, good signing. McAllister, good signing. I even think that Japanese kid, Endo, good signing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah, I think he's a good signing. I said that they give him a chance. I think he's a good signing. And then we got Ryan Gravenberch, which is literally end of the day a box-to-box midfielder. You know what I mean? He can play in a number of positions. He can do the 6 and he can do the 8. Do you know what I mean? And he can even do a 10 if he had to. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So he's box-to-box and everything that. So and he's 21 years old. And what people don't realize at the end of the day is we're getting a very special player here. You know what I mean? We get 3 Dutch players. Yeah, we're getting a very special player here in sort of in Ryan Gravenberch. So when you think about it, then Dave, we have actually sort of and as well, remember we might be getting Andre in January. That could be another thing we might be getting. Do you know what I mean? So when you say that, when you look at that, you have to say the pieces to the puzzle have been put in. Do you know what I mean? Have been put in still. Do you know what I mean? And I see this as a team at the day that can win things. I'm telling you, they can win things in a day. And I was speaking to my friend today, my agent fella, and he was saying to me, he goes, usually at the day when we have results at the end of the day, like we did these last 2 results, yeah. Because remember, we haven't lost a game yet, Yeah. There's 2 results that the 2 results that we've had in the day where we're down 10 men, yeah. And we've got off a line. Usually when that happens at night, usually it's a sign at the day that we're gonna pick up something. It could be the Europa Cup. You know what I mean? And I'm saying it could be the league because it's not impossible to get the league.
No, I mean,
Or could,
I'm glad that you said that, Uncle, because then that we could segue into our new guy. His name is Ryan, aka Gravenberch. I'm excited about this guy. I know some of you guys have, little talked about him, but people don't get who this guy is. I think he left Ajax way too early for his own good. You know,
yeah,
he was too young to go to Bayern at the time. You guys, I'm sorry, but watch this guy. He is identical to Jude Bellingham when he has the
yeah.
ball and the way he moves with the ball. You see what I mean? He has identical skill set. Yes, we need Klopp is gonna find a way to work his defensive side of it. Right? That's what he doesn't have yet. But he's only 21 years old, people. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about us signing him. And of course, I remember when we played Ajax when Erik ten Hag was there, and that was the year that we were struggling. And he was very, very,
Stand-up player.
stand-up player. And that's why Klopp wanted him that year.
Mm.
We were trying to get him, but Bayern was like, no. So he went to Bayern. But he went to Bayern at a time where they were not stable.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So, in all, yes, if I were to answer Gadideep's question, I think we had an 8/10 because I wanted us to get a defender, but Klopp is trying to say, I'm going to give Kwanzaa a chance.
That's why I gave it 8.5. That's why I gave it 8.5 because people thinking it today, so like we should have got a centre back, but they probably don't realize what Klopp is doing with that Gerald Cranshaw. Because I saw a little thing in him today. I was like, of how he sort of like his progression in the day, coming to Liverpool at the age of 5 years old, and you know what I mean, going through the ranks of like under 9s and under 18s and so on, and he even got a call. He got a call up at the day to.
Yeah, he's under 20. Under 21, he is in the team. So
he got a call, and he scored as well. So like I feel at the end of the day, that is our new centre back.
Yeah, I mean Klopp is going to give him a chance because this is what people don't understand. This rebuild is not done yet.
Yeah,
it's not done yet. We still got January and next summer, and people need to stop. Oh, we need a left centre back. We need a left. Who do you guys remember the reason why Spurs never bought a striker, right? Was because there was a guy named Kane, and unless Kane is having a bad day, you're not gonna sit him down.
Right.
Virgil is not going anywhere.
Right.
And Klopp is not gonna play that 3 in the back that people think that we're gonna play. Yes, when we have the ball, it looks like 3 in the back. It's not 3 in the back. It's one of the midfielders drop in between the two center backs, so it looks like
Endo drops back in essence.
You see what I mean? Endo drops back. That's what it looks like. It's not 3 in the back. Klopp would never play 3 in the back.
Yeah, he does do that.
And on top of that, it goes to highlight your point about Endo dropping back. One, Endo has played right center back. He's played left center back, so he always has center back capabilities. But he's able to play that deep of a role of a DM, that anchor style DM as well. But you're right. I think it's because a lot of people can't get their mind around the fact that when they say left center back or when they think of, Trent's going to go into the midfield, they think, okay, it's a 3 back. It's 3 backs in the back. Because you'll see Robbo even sneaks up up a little bit into the midfield a little bit at times, if not going and taking runs himself.
Right.
So, like, it's not what your brain thinks of when you hear a three in the back, but the reason why you can't get around, or reason why a lot of people are like, "Oh, we get left center back," is exactly for what you're saying.
Yeah,
is that in their mind, that's what it would be.
And this is the thing that
back in the right center back.
Yeah, and the sad thing is, people are like, "Oh, Liverpool defense." Liverpool defense is not the problem. Klopp have always said that. He even said it. I can write a whole book about defense. The problem was the midfield, because we are a machine. Everything has to work perfectly. Otherwise, it looks like we don't play well. Yes, Trent makes mistakes.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's
have you guys
like that. I
realized that
mean,
all 3 goals that we have conceded was based on mistakes?
Yes.
yeah.
It happened.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I
And
was
not
gonna say,
even mistakes. Yeah, mistakes
I
of
mean,
like focus. as well.
focus. It was just focus mistakes, right?
yeah.
Gravenberch being the team right now, that means our midfield, you guys don't understand the skill level that is in that midfield.
Listen, brother.
People,
Listen, brother.
yes, we all wanted the sexy signing. I wanted Casado just like everybody else. I thought he was the final puzzle to the success. He didn't come in. Klopp is not done yet, people. It's not done. Next year, I'm probably thinking that we're going to lose 3 or 4 major players. So he has to fill those
Well,
positions.
Matip's
Is
going next
definitely
year.
going to. And also, before we continue, I want to shout out to Matip and people who keep disrespecting this guy. There's a reason why Virgil always gives shout out to Matip, and he said, look at him, don't look at me.
Right.
Yes, Matip have slowed down. All of them have, including Virgil. But the way this fan base tends to, oh, he's washed, he's done, Trust me, Matip. Have you realized that this is a guy who never needs a game or 2 to fit? All he did is he can leave for 10 years and come back and it's like he never left.
Yeah.
You know, Matip's problem is his focus sometimes. He's too lax. And that's the problem that Liverpool have. We got Trent, we got Virgil, and we got Matip, who all of them are nonchalant type of players. They are relaxed all the time. You know, but you can't tell me when we needed him the most against Newcastle when we're down with men. His general has been sent off. He didn't step up. Klopp took him off because he didn't want him to get injured.
Yeah.
Facts. No, facts. Yeah. I mean, to me at the day, Matip and Day is a special player. He always has been, and he always will be a special player.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes people like to sleep with him sometimes, but he's a very special player. Every team at the day gets the certain players at the day that they have lacking concentration, you know what I mean, and they they don't focus sometimes, you know what I mean, but it's just for you at the day to coach.
That is what it is. He's a smart player, but not quick. He's not. Fast.
The way of putting it. Yeah.
He reminds me of. Do you remember Sammy Hippier? Do you remember Sammy Hippier?
Uh-huh.
Do you remember Sammy Hippier towards the end of his career? He knew at the end of the day he lost his pace, but what he was able to do with his good footballing brain is be in the right places at the right time to defend. Do you know what I mean? And obviously scored. Do you know what I mean? But like Matip,
Agger was like that. I thought Skirtle was like that. I thought Daniel Agger was very smart with the
No, he was. That's the guy. No Skirtle. Agger.
Yeah.
Agger.
Oh man, if it wasn't for injuries.
Did you see that goal he scored against? Time he scored that goal against West Ham. When he went left foot against West Ham. When he leveled it, even Torres is on the bench, and Torres is on the bench. Went, ooh,
that was something else. But moving forward here, guys. So if we were to talk about
one quick thing though, before you do this one, I'll make it quick and short. The one thing I said about the defense too, I want to make sure that people understand this. Our defense, in my personal opinion, but something that I've heard Klopp mention time after time, is that our defense starts with our counter press. And our counter press starts with our front line. It's why we end up seeing Hatta play so much, I think, personally, because Hatta is one of the better counter pressers on our team. Okay. And it's the reason why sometimes Nunez has struggled to try to find his way into the starting lineup, because he had to incorporate that as being his focus as well. And often being a poacher, you don't necessarily always want to counter press. You don't always want to run. And then you also have to understand how to counter press precisely or correctly, because you can't just go and, go out on your own and just start like running around and trying to counter press on your own. When you start doing that, you'll find that you're just wasting energy. You're wasting everyone else's time, and people can find gaps and holes. But I just wanted that.
No, that's true, because
it makes sense.
It makes real sense. Yeah, because I told people Klopp is trying to change things. He's not going to play the games that people think, hey, this inverted. This is social media, Twitter tactics, all this thing. By now, people should realize that this guy does not think like all of us, right? This summer, let me tell you what happened this summer. This summer, ITKs have lost all their jobs. They are all been laid off. I fired my all my ITKs, because nothing they said came through, right? I just told Uncle Ross that sell to buy never existed. It just happened to be a good time at the right time, because if sell to buy, I remember my boy Jamie's like, I'm worried that the owners are going to take the money because it is big. This everything that everybody has said about the owners has never been true. This summer has been you have to be patient. All of us were frustrated because we wanted things done, because we all knew what the problem was, right?
But it's not the reason. It's not the reason why. I mean, like people like yourself, like Uncle Rod's, it's the reason why. Even myself, it's the reason why I stress that you have to be out there fighting against these false narratives. You have to be out there fighting against this misinformation. Yeah. Because realistically, it's easier to get the catchphrases or the pundit or the lazy punditry that you hear, and then you hear other people repeat it in the chats. You hear people even repeat it on sometimes as if they're on the panels, and you're like, where are you getting this? Like,
and that's the thing. Like I told you guys that I saw people come up with conspiracy because they said the club is not giving them any information, so they're just making it up as they go. And he knows he's making it up as they go, but they can't help themselves but just to keep making it up as they go. The thing is, Liverpool and the rivals have seen it, and this is the thing that annoys some of our fans not paying attention. The rivals have seen how deadly Liverpool is, especially against Newcastle. Yeah. Gravenberch, you know how many teams wanted Gravenberch? Manchester United was literally trying to sign him. He told them, "No, I'm going to Liverpool."
That's 3 players we took from. That's 3 players.
3 players that we have taken from them.
But taken from them: Nunes, Gakpo, and now Ryan Gravenberch.
But the environment counts. I mean, the environment that you're going to counts. You got to make a balance of deciding if your brand is solid enough to be able to go to Manchester United and be able to handle the ins and outs of their, for lack of a better word, their crappy environment that they have with, and or if you want to go to more of a family oriented, more as in tight knit group, whereas it seems like everything is really like about player development, and you have a coach that is a father-like figure. There's a reason why Robert Lewandowski said what he said about Klopp.
He invited him to his wedding.
So you watched? Did you see he did this bicycle? I think it's called the Bicycle Diaries or something like that, where it's basically an interview. They're on bicycles and they ride around and they give an interview. And he was talking about his time with Pep. He was talking about his time with like how much he learned from Pep and everything else. But he said that the one thing about Klopp was that he referenced the fact that he didn't have a father, or he had lost his father. He referenced the fact that Klopp felt like he was that father figure in his life. He felt like, as in that time that he was really struggling with trying to find the net, trying to put the back, make the back of the net rattle, and Klopp was getting a lot of flack for starting who he was starting for Dortmund, and basically they, after one of the games, they went down to the hotel bar. They had a conversation. It was a really beautiful moment, they said, whereas in like they really, he really like stressed his confidence and his belief in him. Next game, he scored a hat trick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, all I would tell you, we are not going to see Liverpool's actual tactics or formation until after the break. I said this on 12-Man Show, that Klopp is still experimenting. That's why I keep telling people we are not there yet. Just give it time. Give it time. Everybody's trying to tell you this is what we're supposed to do. If we do this, we're gonna be perfect. No.
Right.
If people on Twitter and social media and all these spaces can tell us what we should do, then what about what 20, 19 other teams that we're gonna play against. Then what's the
Right.
purpose of us even playing there?
What people
Right.
got realized, at the day is like,
Mhm.
they've got rid of it and they of
Yeah.
their main core of their team, i.e.
Mhm.
Henderson, Fabinho, Milner. Do you know what I mean? And Fabinho. Now these are players at the day that which Klopp really trust. He
Mhm.
trusted them with his life.
Yeah.
So he's got rid of them because he obviously he knows that it's the right time for them to go. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's the right time for them to go and such. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Because one thing you don't want to do is keep a player past his sell by date. You know what I mean? You don't want to
Yeah,
do that.
Uncle. Klopp said he made a mistake. Even I don't
Mm.
know if you watch his at the beginning of the preseason, he came out and had a sit down with one of the Liverpool commentators, and he said, "Yes, we should have done. Maybe us falling off is the knock that we needed." And I'm paraphrasing, of course, for us to realize that we needed a few days. And he knows. The thing is with him is he needs somebody to push him for him to
Yeah,
do the right thing. If you tell him to do the right thing, he would take his time to do the right thing because that's how he sees it.
yeah,
I bring it back to Gravenberch here. Everybody's like, no, that's not okay. We need a DM, but Klopp usually plays multiple players in certain positions. He
that's what he
might not.
wants.
Gravenberch might never see a DM, but maybe
Yeah,
we will go to a 4-2-3-1, and then what? You see what I mean? So I'm excited for this kid. I think you could tell that he's so happy to be at Liverpool. He
yeah,
needs to restart his career, and he's starting at the right age. Virgil is gonna let him know, hey, bro, you got to work your behind off.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
yeah.
I mean? Virgil's
Virtual,
gonna
do it.
and Gakpo,
Yeah.
and he has a very, very example to learn from, and that is Gakpo. Gakpo came in, we thought that he wasn't gonna fit. Now,
Listen,
you see what I'm saying? So
listen.
let Klopp is the chef. Let him cook. Let him cook. We
Yeah,
can't
man,
tell him. We can't
make it
tell
cook
him.
up the
A lot
pot,
of people are disappointed because we didn't bring a center back. I thought we didn't need a center back. I was more of maybe a right back
Mm.
to me. In the case that we want to push Trent into the midfield, then we
Yeah,
have a
but you
right
know
back.
what it is then? If we did surgical cost, if we did that, if we got a right back and put strength in midfield, I honestly think and we wouldn't have bought Gravenberch.
And personally, I'm gonna tell you this, Uncle. The
Yeah.
Trent experiment failed during the preseason because
It
it
can
was
work.
not working.
Yeah.
It can work. It can work. Yeah, it can work. But everybody's got to sort of like number one, got to
Mhm.
be switched on, and number two, everybody's got to know their positions at the end of the day. Everybody's got to look the back three. Got to
Mhm.
know at the end of the day. Will look at the end of the day when this fella goes forward, we're going to be a
Mhm.
back three.
Yeah.
We're going to be a back three. Do you know what I mean? When he comes back, we just go back to a back four.
Mhm.
And it wasn't not enough that done in pre-season. And people was too lackadaisy in trying to getting over and obviously covering that space because you got what people got to remember is like towards the end of the season and this
Mhm.
inverted sort of like right back situation. It did work well. It did work well because everybody knew what they had to do. You understand what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
It
But
things get
also, Uncle, I told
yeah
this to Ant. I told this to Ant, and he's like, "Oh, it's not enough sample size." I said, "Well, we played Aston Villa. We drew. I think it was 1-1." I was
yeah
like, "Aston Villa figured it out," because people forget that Una Emery is also a great football tactician.
yeah
He's
yes
a
yes
great football tactician, and he figured it out. And a lot of teams have looked at how Aston Villa nullified Trent trying to do the inverted, and it hasn't worked since. So Klopp,
yeah because I'm
I personally believe that Klopp is going to go back to because he wants to play the control, hold the ball for as long as you can. But at the same
yeah.
time, he also wants to attack. So the three main things that he said he wants to be good at is we having the ball, press, and then set pieces. So
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying,
that's what I'm trying to say. But
yeah,
nobody at the social costume, nobody at
mhm,
the in the Aston Villa game. What I noticed at the day, because it happened, I think it happened the game before as well. What it
mhm,
was at the day, right? Nobody was covering Trent's position. So what it was at the day, Trent was getting pushed back. That was the main thing in the day. Trent was getting pushed back against Villa, and it happened a game before that. I'm sure that he was getting pushed back because nobody was coming in his position. Now, this is what I'm trying to say. The only way at the end of the day this inverted thing works at the end of the day, because it works in Man City, because what they do at the end of the day, right, is like, you know, when their right back goes forward like that, the team changes. The team changes like automatically, and I think that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're covering spaces, and they. What it was with us, yeah, we was leaving too much spaces at the day when Trent was going forward. It was almost like at the day what used to happen before, and in the day when we had Henderson there, and obviously when Henderson was slowing down, he couldn't get about the pitch as much. You know what I mean? The same thing was happening there. What's got to happen? Everybody's got to know the position on the day, right? And everybody's got to cover, because like in the Man City game, Gomez did it well. He just went over there and covered. Went over there and covered. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to do your thing. But so like it can work. It can work and stuff, right? But you have to be switched on and say, right, he's going forward, I'm going over there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or the midfielder, the midfielder, and they drops back. Then you got 4 defenders.
Yeah, I think it works if Thiago is in the team, because he's the one who can hold the ball. He's press resistant. If you have Thiago and McAllister on the team, now you got 2 players who are very press resistant. It'll be very hard to press it because they will slice and they both can pass. You see what I mean? They both can pass. They will find a pass that you'll be like, where did that? The cameraman, I guarantee the cameraman is not even going to know where the ball went until the ball.
Thiago's a much better dribbler than look, Trent's a great player, but Thiago's a better dribbler, you know, arguably a better passer, or just as good of a passer at least, you know. And the key to having possession, the key to defense, one of the big keys to defense, in my opinion, is possession. If you have the ball, then you don't have to play defense. You know?
And that's what Klopp is trying to do.
Right. So, you know, if you have possession, if you either in any time that you do give up possession, if you're able to counter press and retrieve the ball right back and then continue your possession trait, that's defense. And a lot of people don't want to acknowledge that. But I also think that the one thing of difference when you deal with Pep is that Pep has basically 4 center backs really playing the back line now, and then pushing a center back into that role.
Right, where's he gone?
I think his phone might have just died.
See, it's not that. Yeah,
I'm dropping too much knowledge for him. I
just disappeared. I was like, what's going on? This guy was giving the knowledge.
The man's kicking the knowledge, yes, and kick the knowledge. You know, I think what you're saying, that day is true, 12 man. But I still think at the day our system on the inverted thing can work, but everybody's got to be switched on. And what you got, I know at the day, Thiago is an awesome player. I will never take that away from him, right? But the only problem that I don't want to happen is for him to be doing too much in a day, so he'll probably get injured. You know what I mean and stuff. But aside from that, in the day, yes, I do agree. He's a better passer than the Trent. Do you know what I mean? And he's a better dribbler. Do you know what I mean? But that's the Brazilian in him. Do you know what I mean? Right. It's Brazilian in him that comes naturally.
Obviously, he's a bad passer.
No. You're not taking. You're not taking anything away from Trent, because Trent's an amazing player. But what is it that you're just hitting facts? Facts is facts. Facts speaks for themselves. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and I do think at the age, that Thiago is a better passer and a better dribbler, because at the end of the day, you know, you don't sort of like be with Bayern Munich and there for seven seasons and win all these major honors at the end of the day if you're crap. Do you know what I mean? You know. So, like, yes, he's a brilliant player. But the only problem that I face with Thiago is that I don't want him to do too much at the end, because when he does too much, do you know what I mean? Right. He tends to get injured and he tends to be out for like 3 or 4 months at a time, because he was supposed to be back a couple of weeks ago and he's still not back yet. Do you know what I mean?
There's a setback.
Yeah, but so I would like.
play him at not to cut across you. I just want to say play him at as a regista, or as a not even a deep lying playmaker, but more of as a regista, as in that way you're more of like an anchor of a DM. You're deeper in the role, so that he's not really having to cover all of his possession. If you look at his statistics, the majority of his touches and the majority of his play is either in the midfield or in the defensive third. It's not really much like he's not going into the box. He's not like involving himself like that. So if I could say, hey, all right, we're gonna allow Dom, we're gonna allow McAllister, even Trent to even go up a little bit into that midfield, into that mid third, and progress into that final third. But what we're going to ask from you, Trent, or excuse me, from you, Thiago, is we're going to ask for you to be that anchor, be that person that can be the quick outlet from Allison, and he can put the ball in his dribble, or he can pass, he can do diagonals, he can do wherever he wants, which he always does, and you're not scared that he's going to lose the ball because he has those capabilities. That's the only way you're getting it from him is probably by fouling him. So, like, if you have that access, then that's what we need. If you look at the goal, for instance, you look at the 2 goals that Trent has given up. He has played that role, which I'm talking about. I would like to see Thiago do, because normally Thiago's the person that would have done that. But what I'm talking about is the passes were an outlet pass from Virgil to him in the middle of the pitch. The other pass was a pass from Salah back to Trent. Again, in a position where Thiago would have been, and then he would have orchestrated the offense to go forward, But Trent isn't that player yet, per se, or maybe that I don't know if he wants to ever go in that direction, but he's not that player, in my opinion. And
facts.
And he somewhat are limiting him from being able to be the beautiful, and player that he is.
He's got a pretty, isn't they? What you're saying there is true, very true. Do you know what I mean? But he's got a pretty impressive record, though, isn't he? I love the player. I love the player. I just, it is a day. All what you're saying that day sort of like is true, and I think what could happen as he goes along, he could probably grow into them sort of deficiencies, and then that he's got, and get rid of that in his game. You know what I mean? But I would like to see Thiago himself. When we talk about Thiago, I like to see him more of like a luxury player. Do you know what I mean? Than sort of like some hard working. So maybe what you're saying to off man and day is true. Having like an anchor where he doesn't have to do too much, but still can be effective. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If he can do something like, if he can still, do something like that, it'd be good.
What I want us to use him for is, I don't know if you guys remember, Liverpool played Chelsea. I think it was a FA Cup or something, and we played. Thank you so much, Philip. We really appreciate you being here, man. Thank you. I appreciate you. Have a good night. If you guys remember, at that time, Fabregas was playing for Chelsea. And they hit Fabregas so well. It's literally like watching an American football where the quarterback was being protected by the lineman. And what they did was they pushed Fabregas behind, right? And 2 people, I forgot who the 2 people who were protecting him. And he sliced and diced us left and right. Like his passes was like, it's like, I think it was Milner who could not get to him. Like by the time he gets to him, the ball's already gone.
Yeah.
And I think Hazard was there. The guy from Atletico Madrid, the striker, was also there.
Diego Costa.
Diego Costa and them were there. Like it was Henderson and Milner could not get to him because they protected him so much and they hit him behind. And he's the one who was orchestrating the ball. Like literally, he was like 2 feet away from the center backs.
Yeah.
And we could not get to him. By the time they get to him, the ball was already gone.
Yeah, it's already downfield. Downfield.
And he was, he can pass. Fabregas is a great passer.
Oh yeah, great player. Great player.
So if we can use Thiago like that, trust me, because he would find a pass that you'd be like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah.
You know?
He's got a Ranger pass on him.
I mean,
that's
He's
you
got.
guys, he got
the
an
reason
eye.
why
It was like,
you're saying spot on, Kowalski.
yeah, you know. And I remember when we played Everton, where it was what 1-1 or 0-0, and he found Mane, but then they say Mane was offside because his armpit was offside. And he
It's
found
fucked up,
Mane
isn't
on
it?
the pass, and everybody was like, "This is the reason why we bought him." Because every
Yeah,
time we play
yeah,
against a
yeah,
low
yeah,
block,
Yeah.
every time we play against a low block, we could not break him down. But he found a pass, and Mane was like, "Bam, go!" And I think it
Right.
was Henderson who scored, and
Right.
they
I like
called
that
the
goal.
ball back.
I like that goal that Thiago scored against Porto.
The one
Porto.
that floated,
The
the one that
the
grazed the
yeah,
top of the
the
grass.
grass cutter. I call it the
Yeah.
grass cutter. The grass cutter, man. He just
Oh
that
man,
was such good. See, that's what I'm trying to say. I would like, I think both of
That's
your
rare.
ideas.
He
Yeah,
doesn't take that many shots.
yeah.
Mhm.
But I think both of your ideas and then of what you got for Thiago and then
Mhm.
is spot on. It is spot on. Because as I said it, they look, some with Thiago and then right, you want to do less work,
Mhm.
but
Right.
still be effective.
Right.
Still be
Right.
effective, because I think if you can get him to do that,
Mhm.
you know what I mean, you're gonna get much more games out of him. And now
Mhm.
this is apparently supposed to be his last season. We never know what can happen at the end of
Mhm.
the season. You know, you might, have,
No, I think this season there's going to be a lot of farewells to the Liverpool. That's
yeah,
only
they,
the old guard that's moving on. I know Salah for sure.
Right.
Matip.
but something. I don't know I don't know how you feel about this, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel Salah at the end of the day 2-1. I
Mhm.
feel he genuinely loves the club. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he never
The
pressed.
general loves club, and I don't think what is it? Because I was chatting with my obviously the West Ham fan today, and
Mhm.
and I say what you got to realize at the end of the day, right? What can he at the end of the day achieve at the end of the day inside Arabia apart from obviously the money thing? There's nothing
So
else he can achieve. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
think at the end of the day, sort of like Salah is a sort of person, and to me, he looks like he's hungry for success,
Mhm.
and therefore he's always pushing himself
yeah.
to be like successful, to do something different than what he done last season. Do you
Mhm.
know what I mean? And
So
somehow next summer, I don't actually see him going.
let me say the reason why. Salah, right? It's a big economy by himself. The other two
Yeah.
player right now is Messi and Ronaldo. In that side of the region, he is about to grow their sport, just like Messi and David Beckham came to the US for the
Exactly.
MLS, right?
Yeah.
So him going over there, he's becoming the ambassador of football in Saudi Arabia. This has nothing to do with money. This is legacy. Salah is going to be, yeah, they use Ronaldo, but Ronaldo honestly is not one of them. Salah is. It's even Ronaldo, they had to make some concessions for him to even be able to go there.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Salah, they don't have to because he's the man of faith. He's part of the culture.
Yeah.
So he's about to build, they're going to build the whole new league through Salah. You see what I'm saying? So Salah has already won everything. He doesn't need anything anymore.
Yeah, man. He needs more, man. He needs more.
No, you could say if you're greedy,
He wants to
if you're
break more
greedy like
records.
myself, yeah, if you're greedy like myself, you want more. But at this point, right, Salah is building for legacy, where he's probably going to end
I think he wants to win the Europa. I think he wants to win the Europa Cup. Yeah,
Mhm.
and I think he wants to win the league again.
No, everything that he's in right now, he wants to win all of them. But I'm saying for Salah's future, because eventually they're not going to tell Salah, oh, Salah was the guy who won all these championship, won this, right? They're going to be Salah is the reason why the Saudi Arabia league became successful. Salah is the reason why we won the bid for the World Cup, because Saudi Arabia and Egypt are about to bid for the World Cup.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a lot more beyond football. It's about, they could even name their league in Salah. That's just like, we have the Pachichi.
Salah Pro League.
Exactly. Because he is one of them. This is
one.
their guy. You see what I mean? It's like Michael Jordan. Look at what they did with Michael Jordan in America.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So that is what they want Salah. That's why they want him now, so he doesn't have to be too old. Because if he goes at what, say 33, 34, they could probably only use him for 3 years.
I hear that.
Yeah, they have Neymar and Ronaldo there, and they don't even care about them. They're looking at
Did
Salah.
Neymar go there in the end?
Neymar is there already. He's injured. That's why he hasn't played.
He's such a money-hungry pest, isn't he?
He wasted his talent.
You know what, right? I'm not being funny in the day, right? I mean, Cal's my friend, you know what I mean? He's my good friend and from that. But Cal used to talk a lot about sort of like Neymar and obviously how much he rates Neymar. I'll be honest with you, I don't rate him,
Honestly,
I've seen better Brazilians. I've seen better Brazilian footballers.
Come on. I appreciate Cal for what he. I appreciate Cal. Cal's got a good eye for talent, but again, he also didn't rate Ronaldinho either. I think that was the play.
Nah, but he could. It was really.
Yeah, that was.
I'm gonna be on the phone. I'm gonna be on the phone tomorrow. I'm on the phone tomorrow, man.
Neymar was supposed to be the next thing, and Neymar spent more. He spent more time being a social media superstar rather than.
Neymar spent more time on the floor than what he did and they doing anything.
And he also did not also get the message that when he went to PSG, he was the one who was supposed to raise their league up, and he failed at that. You see what I mean? That's why they call Ronaldo to go to Saudi, because ever since Ronaldo went over there, look at all these new changes that have been there. Right?
Yeah.
You look at Messi. Messi comes to MLS. MLS right now, you can't even get a ticket, which used to be like $5. Now it's like $500, right? And you are in the nosebleeds. So seriously, now imagine Salah going to Saudi Arabia. This is what I was telling Coleman. It doesn't matter how much money they spend. By the time he leaves John Lennon's airport, they already made the money back.
Yeah, no, that is true. I mean, to be honest today. There's all seriousness aside and everything
he's big over there. He is so big. He is so big. Yeah, and one thing is, and we'll finish with this. He right now, and they want him to be there for at least 5 years, where it's 5 solid years where he could do things where everybody will be very excited and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? You don't want him to go there that he only plays 2 years, 3 years. That will defeat the purpose. If he's there for 5, towards the low end of his peak, that's a great time because the league is not up there yet.
For real. So, no, you're right. You're right. I just feel to me
it's not about money. The guy has money because his endorsement. His endorsement is ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, to me at the end of the day, I just think at the end of the day there is another twist and turn, as it were. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not too sure at the end of the day if it's clear cut like that, because I honestly think at the end of the day he feels at the end of the day that he can probably accomplish a lot more at the end of the day in England than what he could over there. But at the end of the day, there's always with the Saudi league at the end of the day, right? It's always that allure of the money. Do you know what I mean? And
I mean, look at it this way.
Yeah.
Because Uncle, they have a channel in Egypt right now that they just launched so that Egyptians can watch the Saudi league. If he goes to Saudi, he gets 10 to 20%. And imagine, like last time Uncle Albert was saying, in Cairo alone, there's 30 million people, right? So it's not just Egypt, it's Morocco, it's Algeria, it's Tunisia, then you look at the sub-Saharan Africa. That's why they're forced to get money too. Because now money has given them the whole sub-Saharan, you got what's the name? Mahrez. So these guys are for reals. That's what people don't understand. Everybody else, most of the people are just there for money. But people like Ronaldo, Big Benz.
How old is Ronaldo now?
Ronaldo is Saudi Arabia.
How old is he? Now?
Oh, he's 36.
Okay.
Probably 37. So he's getting down, And then you have Salah comes in. It's about legacy. We are the reason why this league became successful. We are the reason why this league is the top 5 league in the world. That's what they built. Same thing David Beckham did for the MLS. And look at this, Roberto Mancini is their national team now. Manager. You see what I'm saying? So, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us for this evening. It was an impromptu. We just wanted to talk. Finally, we are happy that the window is closed. No more of this toxic stuff that has been going on. The window for Liverpool was not perfect, but it is great. Liverpool is going to be fine. We got Klopp. People didn't get. Joe W. Henry was not going to annoy the hell out of Klopp by selling Salah. He was not even going to touch it. If Henry, Klopp calls Henry and say, hey, bro, let this guy go, right? Let this guy go and let's make the money. Then Henry will be like, okay, let's go. Because Salah has talked to Klopp and Klopp has talked to Henry. Henry was never going to be like 200 million for what? That just like you guys said, we sell them and then who do we bring in at this time? It makes no sense. So what Liverpool have done, Liverpool have shown the rest of the world, we are not here for money. Because if we wanted the money, 200 million is a lot of money.
Yeah, we would have taken that. We would have taken
that. You know what I'm saying? There's no official bid. There wasn't any official. I mean, there was like one, I think, that they finally did. It was 60, 120, 150. Then they say it's going to come to 175. And then somebody reported close to 200. But Liverpool said it doesn't matter what you bring, it's not going to happen. But I'm pretty sure moving forward, Salah is going to look at it and be like, hey, listen, this is my legacy you guys talking about, right?
I want some of that money.
I want some of that money. That's a lot of money. So Liverpool have shown how classic of a club we have run. Yes, the way we run is not everybody's cup of tea because people want sugar daddies. I don't mind a sugar daddy, but I'm just saying Liverpool is a great club right now. We go for things that will make us great. Klopp, the manager, Salah staying. That tells a lot of people a lot of things. Salah stayed because Salah could have kicked himself, like I want out. But he did it. Every day he's smiling. Yeah, when we subbed him in Chelsea, everybody was like, oh, he's done. He's leaving. Nah, he was frustrated because he knows he didn't play well. Love for the love to you too, my brother, Tamizi. So I'm very excited with the league that is coming up because I believe Liverpool is about to be a problem. Liverpool, this league already, like I said, is going to be one of the hardest season that we will ever see. City is not going to be getting 95, 100 points like people think they're going to do. You see how struggling Haaland is. Right? The man can't even score a penalty kick. So I'm just saying, guys, relax. It's going to take time because we are not there yet. Now we are like 75, 80%. Imagine when we hit 85 to 90 and see what we're going to be doing with teams. Right now, there's a lot of teams that don't want to play Liverpool right now. Manchester United being one of them.
Yeah, they don't play. They don't play.
They want to play because it's going to be a customary 5-0 for the first half, right?
We're putting 10 this time, Next time we're putting 10 past them, little
10
bitches.
Past them. But before we get out here, I want to give another shout out to our brother, Baz, who is recovering.
Absolutely.
Show guys some love. Baz is recovering from his surgery. So shout out to you, Baz. So big up, my brother. 12 men, before we get out of here, do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, I definitely want to echo what you said about much love to Baz. Hope that you're getting better. Check your WhatsApp every once in a while. We're all like thinking about you, trying to give out some positive, for you. Also, I do have a Villa preview, basically for the game coming up. It's going to be a very interesting one because I know that Villa was a thorn in our shoe last year, and Emery is an excellent coach, so we're going to have to be prepared for it. Even though I know the Anfield crowd will be up for it, I'm going to hopefully prep everyone to some understanding of why I'm up for it, at least for this match. And other than that, thanks for inviting me on. Always a pleasure to be on a panel with you.
Thank you
Always
so
a
much.
pleasure to be on a panel and put on the rods, of course, as well. You know, and I think I'm not sure if are you doing a show tomorrow, Uncle Rods, or
Yeah. I'm
still
gonna
doing
do. I'm gonna do a show tomorrow. I'm gonna do 2. I'm gonna do match review, and then I'm gonna do the panel debate shows. I'm gonna do all the thumbnails tomorrow when I get up to well, later on I'll do the thumbnails. So I'll send you both the links. Yeah, if you can make it still. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Yes. So other than that, yeah, that's what I have on tap for right now. Road to 100K. That's what I'm plotting at. So 100,000 subscribers is my target. Start small, go then go big. So other than that, yeah, appreciate that. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, the share, get the sharing going on. Make sure you drop the comments, and yeah, big up the Reds.
Yep.
Yeah, Uncle Rods, anything you want to tell, the shows and everything before we get out of here? I know you tired because it's night on your side.
Yeah, it's 3:16 in the morning. You know what I mean? But we're good. We're rocking. Listen, first and foremost, thank you for inviting me on your show. You know what I mean? Thank you for sending the link. Always enjoys our conversations that we have.
Thank you.
Obviously, with the vice president and the president of the United States. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always like the conversation. Listen, at the end of the day, right? I think at the end of the day, sort of like the window at the end of the day, right? Don't sleep on the window. Nobody don't sleep in this transfer window, and I think that because we brought through some amazing players at the day that can gonna do bits for our club still. Do you know what I mean? So trust in the process. In the process, and cut out this toxic negativity things that I've been seeing and hearing. Cut it all out, because that's not going to get us anywhere as a club. We don't move forward as a club and as a fan base with toxicity and this negativity and stuff. We don't move nowhere. So you know what I mean? Trust in the process. We have got a very special manager that people don't realize how much of a special manager we got. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, we got a very special manager there that's took us from the dark days. Yeah, I'm telling you, he's taken us from the dark days and brought us into the light. I'm telling you, and we've had many of great nights. He's given us many great nights. He's made us at the day, right, believe in Liverpool again. You know what I mean? He's turned us into believers. That's one thing he said at the day. He wants to turn doubters into believers, and he's done that. He's brought back that special vibe at the day to Liverpool Football Club. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? My only criticism is at the day that he can't last forever. Do you know what I mean? We're gonna have to have a change, obviously. You know what I mean? Because it goes. But yeah, so listen, trust in the process. We got Aston Villa on Sunday at 2:00. Let's deal with them, brush them up, get them out of the way. I'm gonna do a match preview tomorrow at some time for that game. Do you know what I mean? And listen, up the Reds. You never walk alone. And we got a special team here, and we got a special manager here. So everybody just get behind the team, get behind your manager. Do you know what I mean? Because listen, the grass is never green on the other side.
That's
you know what
Manchester United fans.
Well, there you go. You know what I mean? Guys, you can find me on Anfield Uncle Rods in the day, right? That's on YouTube, also on Instagram, and also on Twitter. Come and follow me. But most of all, please like and subscribe to Quasi Bowl TV. Let's support him. Let's support him. Listen, when I rise, everybody rises with me. I don't leave anybody behind. I refuse to do that. When I rise, everybody rises with me. So please like and subscribe to Quasi Bowl TV, because he does some brilliant stuff and brilliant debates. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I've got to say.
Thank you so much. And quickly, predictions, anybody? I never predict. I just say we win it.
2-0 Liverpool.
12 men.
I'm with you on that. I hate doing predictions because I feel like I don't want to jinx the team.
Jinx it.
So So yeah, my prediction is great game.
I think Anfield. I think
That's a political answer for you.
I think and of course Brazy, who asked the question, also said he said 2-0, just like Unc. But I think on this Sunday is going to be a special day at Anfield. I have that feeling where the fans are going to make that place rock, because when Anfield rock, hey, you know what I'm saying? When Uncle Anfield is rocking, there's no stadium on the planet that has identical to, of course, everybody say Euro night, but I'm telling you, the greatest managers who have managed great clubs, like big time clubs, Pep, Barcelona, Mourinho, Madrid, and they both have played against each other in the El Clasicos, and they still says Anfield, there's something at Anfield. And I remember that conversation that Pep said. He said, I told Barcelona, be careful, there's something out there. You guys were laughing at me when they kicked me out of the Champions League. I told you, you guys did not. So, and yes, Trav Joe, please, no red cards. Please.
Yeah, no red cards.
Yeah. So, but anyway, guys, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate you guys joining us in the channel and in the chat. As always, 12 man, appreciate you. Uncle Ross, I appreciate you. And, Crazy Bolt, we out. Oops.